Hello again, it's Chad Broshears with Ascending to Total Maturity and Go Figure Holistic Personal Training. So today I'm going to talk to you about the greatest relationship of all. And this is the relationship with self. This is your relationship with you. Now, in an earlier video, I talked about self-expression and what causes you to suppress it and these other things. And I'm going to expand on that a little bit today. So first off, let me at least tell you something about you that you know, but you may not be aware of. And that is that you are so unique that there is no one on this planet that is like you. There's a lot of similarities, but no one is you. You are the absolute best at you. So if you spend your life pretending to be someone else, you're going to spend your life trying to be a second best to somebody else. You can never be better than the person you're trying to be, because that's their job, is to be themselves. Your job is to be yourself. So just be you. And what this really means is that, look, if you want to laugh and no one else in the room is laughing, it's okay to laugh. You know, just because other people may be like, oh, that guy's weird or that girl's weird. You know what? I applaud the out of ordinary. To me, that takes something extraordinary. And if I see something that's very interesting that somebody else has done, or somebody's done something that is just out of place, I find myself drawn to that person. I want to know what's going on. I want to see through their eyes. Uniformity, to me, is one of the greatest curses that we could put upon ourselves, to try to behave like everybody else. God help us. You know, for me, I was once asked, what would I want this world to be like? And when I was asked that, I considered characters. And like a character, let me define this, and I'm going to get back to that story. What your character is your actions, what you do, not what you say. Some people, but not very many people, are congruent with what they say is what they do. But most people go through their life pretending. Now, there's nothing wrong with pretending when you back it up with actions to make that really who you are. But to say one thing and do another, like I want to be an Olympic athlete, and you don't get your ass off the couch, you will never be an Olympic athlete. If you want to make $1 million and you don't do anything to contribute to society, enough to be rewarded with the set amount of money of $1 million, you're not going to get that $1 million. Your language is incongruent with your actions. So when I was asked this question, by the way, your actions are your character. People will lie. Statistics and outcomes and numbers and all of these things that we measure to state something about a character will never lie to us. Now, people can skew those, but let's not get into that. Let's just talk about right now. If I know you and you tell me you want something, I'm going to ask you what you're doing to make that happen. And then I'm going to ask you what you're doing to not make it happen. And what I'll ask is something specific. How much time do you spend having conversations that make no difference? How much time do you spend watching television? How much time do you do this or that are away from your goals? How much time do you spend doing something to accomplish your goals? What do you know about your goals? That's actually the truth that they talk about. The truth's in the pudding. That's the pudding that I'm looking at. So this is what I'm looking at when I assess characters. And now back to what I was stating earlier about when I was asked a question, what would I like this world to look like? I gauged my answer off of what I already see in the world. And what I see in the world is people's prejudices, people's rejections, their extreme concepts, their angers and hostilities, their upsets, all of these things. And again, I want to stress prejudices. And this is not just white to black or any of that. It's gender based. It's anything that separates one group from another group. And actually, just the entirety of forming a group that has any exclusivity has its own degree of prejudice. So, and you don't have to sit there and think that it's only gender based or color or skin race based. It can be it could be the value systems that people grow up in, class systems, things like that are all prejudiced systems because they exclude people that do not meet the criteria, which is the same concept of prejudice. So whenever I was asked that question about what would I like this world to be like, people's characters told me a truth. And that is that people with their frustrations would really like for everyone to be like them or be the way they wish for them to be. And if that were the case, the closer you understand or the more you understand that the way you want other people to be is a way that you would like to be. And if that's the answer that characters are telling me, then that means that everyone on this, or people on this planet, would like for everyone to be the same. And for me, the belief that everyone be the same is a dangerous, it's a very dismal, I couldn't imagine a worse hell. Because look, innovation and thought will only ever come from the desire to overcome something. No, innovations. So if you want everything to be the same, you will have a specific timeline where everything has been accomplished. By the way, if you are so connected with another person, you experience them through empathy. And then you gain access to what's called empathetic experience, which means that you just get all of them. You feel it. And when they communicate with you, you live the experience they've offered you. It's not just you hear it and you know it. You feel it. You know what it's like. If it's never jumped out of a plane, but you were so connected with that person. They may say it like anybody else, but you have a connection and you get the feeling that they have. If you haven't had that experience, consider that it's possible. This is not hokey pokey and any of that crap. This is a real experience. It's our most powerful learning tool that we have as being human beings, is to learn empathetically through others. So with that, the idea that this whole world be the same is, I couldn't imagine a worse hell. I would want my life to end in a period of time if everyone were like me, because I would have experienced everything. I would have no more opportunity for variety, because every story that I would hear from me would be an experience I've had. So it would get boring. Life would lose the luxury and the beautiful grandeur that it is by having variety. So for me, I love the way the planet is. Now, when I say that I love the way the planet is, I accept the way that it is. I value the way that it is, because it offers opportunities for growth, where growth would not take place if everything were to be the way you wanted it to be, because it would be a cushy life, and you would not know your abilities to achieve the greatness that you are. You would just get to live your life on a couch, or whatever your daily activities were when you were 8, you'd have no reason to develop any further, because everything would be cushy if everything was the way you wanted it to be. So what I'm offering you is a new perspective to the understandings of yourself. And that is to look at yourself as already being amazing and whole and complete. But yet, who you are is based off of some of the hardships that you've had in your life. And those are things for you to actually shift your viewpoint on. This all is connected to whenever people ask me about my work, and people say, oh, that must be hard work. For me, hard work never shows up unless I'm resisting something. Otherwise, it's just work. So if I don't want to do something, it becomes hard. But if I have no attachment to not wanting to do it, and I just have a desire to complete something, then it's not hard work. It's just a specific amount of effort, and then it's done. So I don't experience hard work anymore in my life. So the opportunity to grow also doesn't have that resistance factor to any significant degree. I don't lose sleep over things that are less desirable. because I actually start to desire them, in a sense that I want the development. I want to grow from what I'm experiencing. So being without money, that's something that, you know, most people would want to avoid. I embrace the opportunity. Now I don't want to stay there forever, but there's lessons to learn when that occurs. You know, the same lesson, or there's a different side of it, which is the abundance of money, because that brings a whole new set of lessons that we are ill-equipped for when you've never had that. And you can't learn it cognitively. You can only learn it experientially, or empathetically, but most people don't have that ability because they're so stuck on how their world's occurring that they don't connect with others. So this is a brief introduction, as most of these videos are brief introductions, hoping to illuminate some areas in our life to offer a sense of satisfaction and gratitude for what we're going through, rather than resentment and the hard work concept and hardships that we experience. So a world full of just me is a hell on earth. That's my experience for it. Sure, it would feel really nice and cushy initially, but whew, God, I would not want that. No, I embrace the fact that we have so many differences, and that beautiful opportunity explores, creates an exploration of something wonderful. So, I hope this video has been valuable. Please feel free to comment below, and I look forward to hearing from you guys and also seeing you again. Chad Brashears, Go Figure Holistic Personal Training, and Ascending to Total Maturity. Enjoy.